get us rolling, and then I'll kick to you for like some of the fan things, and then we'll just go back and forth and whatever. Just two sound bites. It's the Georgia Ohio State. It's Ohio State.
I'll just lead it.
Here you go. That'll work. All right, let's do this. All right. Yep. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are live right outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm Dan Booth alongside Alyssa Lyons, and we are about 7 hours away from kickoff of the college football playoff semifinal, the Peach Bowl, between Georgia and Ohio State.
Hey, a little bit of a gloomy day to start. We've had a lot of rain. We actually waited to get out here because it was pouring so terribly. But they also didn't let people in the parking lot until like noon. So you can see that didn't really hinder anything, because these fans have obviously made it out. I'm going to step out of the way because they make a better door than a window. But if you kind of take a look, we got some people tailgating, walking around, just getting their early afternoon started. We actually already had one fan come over and offer us some grilled food. So we got a couple grills in action. Brutus over there, he's making a visit. Ohio State trying to make an appearance. But you can see some tents getting put up. I'm sure there will be more here in the next couple hours as we inch closer to kickoff, Dan.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that you mentioned it. Little rain, little gloom, it doesn't matter to these fans. These Bulldog fans have waited all season for this opportunity to potentially get back to the national championship, to defend last year's title. It's just been an amazing ride for this team, and there have been a lot of fan events. It's something that we really dove into a lot yesterday. You were here with Gary as well, diving into everything. And, what were some of those fan events they had rolling on yesterday?
So it was really funny. While we were walking around, they had a bunch of different things going on. Obviously, Atlanta is a hotspot. We have Centennial Park. We have a couple Ferris wheels, and then obviously the CNN Event Center with the Hall of Fame. That was kind of put on, and people were just in and out of there all day. Just a lot of people walking around too, heading into the aquarium later on at night to see the bands play. But one of the things that we saw, which was kind of funny, a lot of Buckeye fans, a lot of red, but with that punch in it,
Oh, of course, and once again, it's that type of game. You know, fans travel. We know Georgia fans travel all over the place, having the opportunity to play in the Benz one more time, and you know, it really was special, especially some of those fans going out there and saying some pretty funny things yesterday.
Yeah. And there was one family in particular that had me laughing for hours because they take sleeping in the doghouse to a whole new meaning. Take a listen.
Tomorrow night, I may not want to talk to him.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes after tomorrow night's game, right?
Right?
Hey, go Dogs, right?
So why do you like Ohio State?
I don't know. It's just different. We live here, and I like going to Ohio. Snow.
We go to Ohio a couple times a year, and we just, yeah, a little colder there. We wanted to get tickets.
I was super excited.
Yeah, our first idea
I've been
was
wanting
to
them
go.
to play each other for a long time, so
Yeah.
but I can actually see it now. So
Go Dogs!
yeah, go Dogs! Yeah.
We're gonna stomp through them dogs.
Yes.
No, not gonna happen.
So, you know, that kid is, you know, ready to stomp through them dogs. A lot of fans made that trip from Columbus. That mom actually was originally from Columbus. Family is from Georgia. That's about like a 10, 12-hour trip. I know I just made it a couple of days ago. It's not easy, folks. So for them to travel as well as they do, that's going to be a big factor in this game. Even Ryan Day said it in their first press conference was, hey, we're playing Georgia in their backyard. It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be loud. It's probably going to be the most energized game outside of that OSU-Michigan game that they know and we know so well.
You know, and to your point, Georgia's backyard, right? This is actually the third time that Georgia has had the opportunity to play at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year. So, to your point, Ohio State fans have to show out because you're going to see a lot of red throughout the stadium, but needless to say, Georgia having an opportunity to be at home again, it just worked out in their favor. And only time's going to tell how this one's going to shake out. But being once again in your backyard with that home field advantage is so huge, especially in games like this.
And these two head coaches are both experienced coaches in the playoff. Ryan Day in his third appearance, and then Kirby Smart obviously being with the Dogs forever, right? You know, one of the things too that they mentioned was just the physicality of both of these two teams, Big Ten, SEC, looking to both prove something on both sides of the line. We always have that, you know, big debate whether or not the Big Ten can mess with those SEC Dogs and vice versa. So this will be a true testament later on today is, you know, really the physicality of this game, who's going to be left standing.
You know, and to your point, that conversation can go back and forth for days, especially with, well, Alabama's done over the years, with Georgia stepping into those shoes potentially. You know, it's been... These conferences just go back and forth all the time. And needless to say, there are a lot of NFL caliber players that are going to be on the field tonight inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that physicality is something that they certainly are going to be showing on full display. And as you mentioned, both Ryan Day and Kirby Smart both talked about that in their previous press conference. So let's hear what the two head coaches had to say.
So,
Yes.
Due to some difficulties, we will run that SOT a little bit later. But, you know, it's all about who really has that dog in them. So, you know, these two fans that I spoke to yesterday, I think it's really up for debate, but take a listen and then you guys get back to me and tell me who really has that dog in them.
They are the dogs.
They're the dog, but we have the dog in us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have the dog in us, but they are the
They
dogs.
wear the dog on them. They don't wear the dog in them.
Ton of respect, though. Kirby
Oh,
Smart.
a lot of respect,
Kirby
lot of
Smart,
respect.
great coach. Stetson Bennett, what they've done with the program, what they've done with the team is great. It's all fun and games. They have the edge. We're going to try to do our very best to win. If we win, it's going to be an instant classic, and we're really excited to be here.
So you guys truly believe that they're going to win tomorrow?
Yes.
We believe there's a chance,
believe in their chance. I believe.
and that's all we
I
need.
believe.
All we need is hope.
All we need
Only
is
thing
hope.
stronger than fear.
Yeah, I have to believe because if I don't, then I will be despondent. So I believe.
What's that old saying? If there's a will, there's a way.
You can say that again. Yeah, and Ohio State, after that loss to Michigan, they had that chip on their shoulder too. They are maybe being the underdog in this game. I think that's safe to say with the way that Georgia's been playing. But Ohio State, their fans are here and they're ready to roll. So.
And they're loud too. So last night when we went to the aquarium for the Fan Fest night here at the Peach Bowl, they were loud. We had a lot of those OHIO cheers. Brutus was making his way around the crowd, and surprisingly, this group, I think that they're going to be 10 times louder than they were last night. And let me tell you, that was maybe 300, 400 people. So I can only imagine when we get in there and we inch up towards those thousands, what it's going to sound like and how Georgia fans are going to kind of react.
And to that point, this is what these teams have been working for the entire year. And we're going to break down all the X's and the O's later on throughout the day. But needless to say, both these teams have earned their way into the playoff, and both these fan bases are ready to roll once again. And when push comes to shove as well, when you look at these two fan bases, these are two of the most passionate fan bases in all of college football.
Yeah.
And just historically across the board, whether they're impacting on college, at the NFL level, you will find an Ohio State fan or a Georgia Bulldog fan basically anywhere you go in this country, to say the least.
So not only a battle of who's better, but a battle of fans.
Exactly.
One of the things that always kind of sticks out to me about this game is it's been 30 years. So these two teams haven't really seen each other. And that time period, we know Ryan Day's recruiting trail, he hits it really, really hard. So does Kirby Smart. That's something that they've mentioned in their press conferences earlier this week. We'll get into more of that later on this evening. But back 30 years ago, almost to the day, Garrison Hurst out of Lincoln County, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, was named MVP of that game. And now being, 30 years later down the road, a lot of parents who got to see that game are now sharing it with their kids. And it's become this generational, movement of Dogs fans becoming one and also getting to see them play the Buckeyes again and hopefully defeat them.
Honestly, it's been crazy. I'm a diehard fan, so just Kirby going from Kirby to Mark and then watching Kirby just take this team to a whole new level has been crazy. And getting to live in Georgia and experience it almost firsthand is even crazier. Winning last year and watching everybody around me just feel like they got their own victory was really cool.
Well, hopefully they, go for another victory today and, make another trip back to the national championship in Los Angeles later on next week. So it's been a fun ride up until this point. I think that's one of the things that we always keep coming back to is, it started off whether or not they're going to get complacent, whether or not they're going to do this, whether or not they're going to do that, whether or not Stetson Bennett is the right man for the job. So to kind of see this be a shift throughout this whole season, but them not really get that complacent or kind of hinder their abilities throughout the rest of the season. This has been a really fun team to watch and also grow with.
And to that point, this team just answers the bell. Whenever there is a challenge so far that we've seen this season, whenever there's a challenge, whenever there's some level of adversity, whenever there's someone doubting this team, these Georgia Bulldogs, they find a way to play their best football, regardless of who's on the field, injuries or not. And something else that's interesting too is that it's been a crazy season for Georgia and their fans in general because of the two legends that passed away. Vince Dooley, Charlie Trippi. This team is clearly playing for something a little bit more than just trying to win another national championship, which would be incredible, obviously. But there's a buzz and there's a drive that this team has, especially with Kirby Smart leading the way, as you just heard. There's something different about this Bulldogs team that has been in past years of maybe getting to this point and being able to finish the job and really do it for a bigger purpose than just playing a football game.
And one of the words I always keep coming back to is energize, energize. You said buzz. That's a really good word because I'm going to kind of pop out of here just for another second because just take a look at this group of people just here. They're little, but they are loud and they are ready for this game to start. Cars obviously continuing to roll in. Haven't really seen any Ohio State besides the one that we're looking at here, kind of towards our left. That's about it. I mean, we didn't see too many Dogs fans yesterday. One of the things I always said, okay, maybe they're just going to, come up at the last second, make their presence known, and they kind of are already. I mean, this is 10-1 odds here, Dan.
It's, we met. At the moment, I do not know when the bands are going to be rolling through. However, we do know that, like we mentioned a little while ago, the fans were just let in a little while ago, right when we were coming in. So, and fans of all types, as you can see from seeing the inflatable Brutus right there, or Brutuses, 2 of them up there. Then, in general, you know, these fans are ready, and this is something that is fun. I expect that this courtyard is going to fill out a lot more, especially over the next couple of hours leading into the game time. And then in addition to that, we also have all the fan festivities happening over at the convention center that's right across the street, which we will be going to eventually, and we're gonna have a lot of fun over there, playing some games, getting hearings from some more fans who have lifelong stories being Georgia Bulldogs fans and, you know, Ohio State fans, and having the opportunity to come and see their teams play. Because one thing that's really interesting about this time and them having the opportunity to play in their backyard once again is that there's a lot of fans that couldn't travel to Miami last year and that really didn't have the opportunity to watch their Bulldogs do what they had to do when it mattered most. And, you know, I think there's a lot of fans that are going to be here from the Augusta area in general and from the CSRA who are taking their time to kind of get out there and really be special and have these quality moments with their families and really be a part of something special that the Bulldogs are brewing here.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was noticeable to me yesterday was that there were a lot of families that for years on end kept applying for Peach Bowl tickets just in hopes that the Dogs will finally play in the Peach Bowl, and even better yet, a playoff. And here we are, and they are actually sharing it with their entire family. So that's 3 generations of Bulldog fans. And, you know, a lot of them, like you said, Dan, couldn't make it out to Miami last year, couldn't make it to Indianapolis, but to have this be here and within driving distance, that's why a lot of them came out yesterday and are going to stay down here for the rest of the day. So, you know, we do expect downtown to remain as packed as it has been over the past 2 days. I know it was kind of tough for us to get in. We ran into some traffic. So the crowds are coming.
And that's what it's all about. You know, I think one of the cool things about college football in general is there's a passion, there's a pride that maybe you won't see with some of the professional teams. And I think that, you know, we've certainly seen a lot of Georgia Bulldogs colors and South Carolina Gamecocks as well, just across the CSRA and a lot of the high school games that we've gone to and covered over this season and even before then. So needless to say, this means something to this area, to these fans, to this state, to really continue to cement their legacy and where they stand in the college football picture and kind of where things are moving forward for this Bulldogs team, which the sky is the limit. And having the opportunity to speak with Stetson Bennett once again, you know, and have the opportunity to see if he can cash in and win another championship, knowing how well he's played when the game's been on the line throughout the entire season.
Well, only time will tell. We'll keep you updated here from Atlanta. We're going to head over to the Congress building to play some fun and games and then check out some of the food here because I don't know about you, Dan, I'm a little hungry. And I also just want to see what's going on here down the line as fans continue to roll in. So stay with us on all of our platforms. We will keep it locked in here in Atlanta up until kickoff.
Can't wait. 8 o'clock, be there. Just be near a TV. If you're here, this is going to be awesome. Good. Come and say hi to us, too. We'd love to be able to speak with some
if
of
you're
the
watching
Bulldogs
on your phone on your way
down. If you happen
down.
to be around, seriously, because it's a lot of fun hearing from people who care about this as much as you guys do. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see things going on. But 8 o'clock kickoff, Georgia, Ohio State, a trip to the national championship on the line. We'll be here throughout the day. See you then.